Hi Scorpio, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2011. This is looking at the movement of the outer planets, which set the stage for the faster moving inner planets, which are the subject of the monthly forecast throughout the year. First of all, Mercury retrograde times, March 30th to April 23rd, August the 2nd to August the 26th, and November the 23rd to December the 13th. Now, astrologically speaking, there's been a lot of going on in your partnership area. Also, you developing good communication skills, good people skills. There having to be a lot of sort of interaction between you and others for many months now. And it looks as though there's going to be expansive times ahead with regard to close working and love relationships in the second half, particularly in the second half of 2011 when Jupiter enters your opposite sign. As far as the Jupiter cycle is concerned, for the first half, which starts from January the 23rd, 2011, first half of the year, that'll be a time for you to expand into new areas to do with work, employment, service, collaborative activities, which can be very productive, teach you a great deal, standing on the shoulders of giants there potentially for you, Scorpio, or simply peeking over the shoulder of somebody that you really respect, whose work you respect, whose skill you want to emulate, and learning from them. So very good for practical learning, for, really getting hands-on, getting the know-how there, mixing and mingling with those who are going to be good teachers for you. Potentially that's what that's about. You should get more of a sense of satisfaction as well out of the work that you do, or the training that you're in, or the training that you're even giving to others, actually. Also, improvements in health are likely as part of this transit. Overall, that is an area of most growth for you over the first part of the year. Now, as I say, Jupiter is going to be in your opposite sign, Taurus, from June the 5th to the end of the year. That's a real growth spurt through close relationships, professional alliances, colleagues, partners, clients, employers, employees. But all of these will get you thinking along very different lines. You'll learn through their slant on things. And a teaching could center around, the dynamics in relationships. But some of you, this is a very good time for somebody to be coming into your life if they haven't arrived already, and for that to really take off, for you to get that real rapport going with that person. And together you'll be thinking big about things, be wanting, and through each other expanding each other's lives. The expansive, benevolent influence of Jupiter will encourage you to new depths of understanding as well, and appreciation, and could plunge you into very strange and different types of environments because of this relationship. And they will look to you as well for your very different take on things, and have a respect for you, for your knowledge, insight, wisdom, etc., etc. So that looks altogether very encouraging there. There's 4 solar eclipses in 2011. The first one is on January the 4th in Capricorn, and if it makes a connection with an important point in your natal chart, then that's going to open the way for change to do with travel, being the educator or getting educated, being the salesperson, maybe the promoter, doing more short distance, toing and froing, connecting with people, making new social contacts and so on, and also connecting with that special person or that special place, and also networking and IT are favored there. Saturn continues its transit of Libra in this sort of background area of your chart, going to be there till autumn 2012. And that means that you're finishing off a whole long cycle of experience to do with projects from the past. So, and that can, depending on your age, go all the way back, 27, 28 years, or where you are now, sort of 27 years ago. And in some ways, this Saturn position is preparation for what's going to come after, when you start this huge new 28, 29 years cycle in your life. So at the moment, you are just finishing that off on different levels, you know, the material, the emotional, the spiritual level. And you may feel tried and tested at times, because the universe is going to demand that you become the support, that you become the selfless support to somebody, to put your ego and your demands, you know, for attention, maybe at times on one side, because somebody's got to do this, and it looks like it should be you. Also, this is a very good time for working hard on anything behind the scenes, particularly anything artistic, using the imagination, using the creativity. So it doesn't have to be artistic, but using the imagination, the creativity. Also, self-nurturing activities, the sorts of activities that are going to nurture other people, you helping them, facilitating them to receive that nurturing in some way, you being the bridge there. And others being grateful to you for that, because you've helped to take the strain, you know, off them. This Saturn cycle, you'll be concentrating your energy into building new routines, into your working day, but also to do with health and fitness and so on. Uranus is going to be transiting your sector of daily work conditions and techniques, work techniques and lifestyle choices, which may have been affecting your health for many years, starting from March the 12th. This is an innovative alternative vibration, which means that you could be going in for innovative, cutting edge technology or methods related to your work or health. Anything which isn't mainstream, which can enliven and improve things in those areas. The life-changing force of Pluto, your ruling planet in Capricorn, continues to have, for many years, this will be a positive effect on your sun sign, Scorpio, helping you to shift your understanding on deep levels. This could be panning out as you're mastering a new language, a new set of symbols, codes, you writing, you being the teacher, you learning, like I said about the language, anything from HTML to Andromedan, channeling, getting telepathic experiences, getting a psychic experiences, and this is going to be evolving into a deeper understanding of different systems of thought, different cultures, different ways of being across the world, and your previous beliefs and presumptions could get cut down to size now. Choices are coming from a deeper place, but also your appreciation is coming from a deeper place, and your intuition about others is growing as well. Over January and February, there's a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and they're very close over February. That could trigger a sudden change in conditions, which opens new doors. It could be an inspiring coming together of people and factors, and it kicks something off, and it maybe begins, with ideas. A cycle of you learning, you researching, you finding out about stuff. Jupiter is aspecting Pluto from February the 17th to March the 3rd. At this time, you could become super enthusiastic about something, a project, or renovating something, starting something, refreshing something, rehabilitating. There could be a few blocks in the way. There could be, that could come from the status quo. The powers that be, as long as you're ready to be a little bit flexible there, review your thinking, maybe let go of a previously held stance in favor of something else, which is then going to give you the green light to go forwards. Then you can be successful. Jupiter opposes Saturn March the 25th to April the 2nd, a time of conflicting energies when you could be successful as well, but you need to be cautious when expanding into new areas. Be patient, take the long view there when making decisions. And also being very aware of what's going on in the bigger world as well. You know, the climate, as it were. I mean, literally the climate also. Jupiter trines Pluto July the 1st to the 14th and October the 16th to November the 3rd. This is a good influence, positive influence, which helps you to make wise use of knowledge, contacts, experience, your connections, but also helps and find the right people, but also helps others make good use of you and be interested in what you've got to give, your experience, your knowledge, what you've got to say, you as the little wheel in the bigger wheel, but also take a more philosophical global view, because you need to be listening to what's going on the bigger stage as well. This is a time when you can, what you say, what you broadcast, what you put out there can have a hugely powerful effect, Scorpio. So do not underestimate that. And it could have a beneficial influence on others as well. Uranus will be in challenging aspect to Pluto July the 8th to August the 16th. This will be a recurring aspect in our skies right on into 2015, really getting into gear June 2012. This aspect is sudden event territory for us all on many, many different levels. It's potentially life-changing. It comes in sort of undulating waves, little packets of energy that sort of hit, and then it kind of consolidates, settles down in another sort of hit. You should not be too digging your heels in and entrenched in previous views or habits. Needing to be flexible as much as possible, going with the flow of events, seeing which way the wind is blowing, the writing on the wall, as it were, being able to read between the lines of what, you know, all the chatter that's going on, what is actually going on. So the advice is to prepare for this by creating a plan B starting now. Whatever that means to you, Scorpio. This is a significant time in history when much of what has been traditionally taken for granted, economically, culturally, socially, will be subject to deep and transformative change, a real shaking out of the rugs, a real spring cleaning going on. And, you know, at times things could be happening quite fast, or at times things could be really surprising, and you're kind of, you know, trying to reorientate yourself. So if you get interested, you know, like from now, in things which are going to allow you to be more self-sufficient, more self-reliant, on very basic physical levels, and also things that are alternative, you know, right out there on the cutting edge, then you should probably do quite well. The second solar eclipse on June the 1st in Gemini, if there are connections with your natal chart, that means the way will be open to improve things around joint resources. It will give you the green light there, you know, you and somebody else in a mutual sort of admiration society with each other, you supplying one thing, they supplying one thing, pooling resources. Assets and responsibilities you share with someone may need reviewing at that time, thrashing out, clarifying. Could be over a contract or an agreement of some kind. Joint expectations in a love relationship may also need discussion at that time. A third solar eclipse in your sign, July the 1st. Sorry, not in your sign. That's in Cancer, making a positive aspect, though, to your sign. Once again, if there are connections with the eclipse degree to your natal chart, means new beginnings through expansive activities which put you in unfamiliar environments, and travel could be happening there, giving you the broader perspective. Good time to take a trip, start a course of study, or write a book. The fourth solar eclipse in Sagittarius on November the 25th is in your sector of finances and material security. Again, if it makes the necessary contacts with your natal chart, this is going to allow you to make the better use of your innate talents, but also your assets, or acquire an asset, or, you know, make improve upon an asset, you know, do something up maybe. The eclipse energy will be significant over subsequent months there, and also there's two lunar eclipses in the mix, one June the 15th and the other one December the 10th. and they're both of those in the same areas. So again, if an important point in your natal chart is triggered, that will allow you to improve things related to those areas that I've just mentioned. Now, for many years, Neptune has been making its influence felt at the root of your chart, bringing a sort of fluid situation right underneath your feet, literally watery. So, you know, there's been a state of flux there, and sometimes confusion and fogginess and uncertainty regarding, you know, where you live, your domestic arrangements, or can be with family relationships, or within the community, and you having to be more selfless there, you having to be, you know, there for other people in some way, or to be more compassionate, understanding, forego what you would really prefer to have within your space or how you like it to be. Anyway, this is drawing to a close now, and actually that nips out, Neptune nips out next year between April the 5th and August the 5th, goes into Pisces for a short visit. This means that you early Scorpions are going to feel the pull to speculate on an outside chance or become more creative and innovative in some way, in some area, whether it's, you know, a speculative investment or promotion, sales, or just using that famous charisma of yours to attract a resource or an attention, or whatever it is, equipment or whatever it is that you need, Scorpio. And it could be that you make your services available to others, particularly children and animals are highlighted in this area, or those who are wanting to learn something, those who maybe can't do certain things for themselves as well. That's another way that can work. But that's just a short time in 2011, and then it really does get going and get into gear from February 2012. In late 2011, Mars will stay for a lengthy period in Virgo from November the 11th to July 2012. That for you means that group gatherings, working within groups, being the initiator, the leader within groups, that's over the wires as well, of course. You somehow being the motivator, you somehow spearheading something, you being the facilitator, you being the enabler, any of these ways, or you sitting with others on a course, but somehow or other you using more physical energy within working within groups. It may feel as if an idea that has been hanging fire for many, many years is finally making progress. That's another way that can work. Well, that's the overview for 2011, Scorpio. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too. And I wish you a very good year, a very happy new year, and I will see you the next time.